I'm Neil, and this is my wife.
I'm Judy, his wife.
And today we're going to be talking about merging cultures when it's related to weddings. So the first step for both our cultures is to propose. And so Judy's father isn't alive, so first I went to her brother and I asked Elise for permission to marry his sister. And he said, you have permission, and whatever else you need in your culture, you have that permission. I was like, perfect. That wasn't intimidating at all. And then the next thing he said was, good. Now I don't have to worry about pictures. And I was like, what do you mean I don't have to worry about pictures? And he said, well, I've been having to do pictures my whole life, and now you get to take that over. Which now I know who's the picture queen here. So yes, so I got permission to marry Judy. The next step in a typical American culture is to go have the marriage, the wedding ceremony, the rehearsal dinner, the wedding ceremony, and the wedding reception. So that's typical. But this isn't an American culture. This is a Congolese culture and an American culture mixing together. So then Judy told me, no, we've got 3 weddings going on. I was like, 3? The first wedding ceremony is the dowry, which I had no clue what that was. So the dowry Judith showed me is actually something that happens in the Bible. You want to explain that?
Yeah. With the dowry is the family of the bride will ask your future husband and his family to bring some items in order for the both of you to be married. So those items will be brought to the family of the bride. So those items could be shoes, could be goods, could be jewelry. It just depends on what they want on the list. And on top of that, they'll ask sometimes a sum of money as well. So for my husband and I, being in the US, we decided, since most of my family were back home, so we decided to ask them to give the price of each item so we can just give them all the money as a total. So we wired money for that.
Yeah. And of course, there's the actual ceremony they have, which they just need an excuse to get together and have a party afterwards. So that's the first one.
And we dress up for it, obviously.
Of course. And then the second one is the signing of the marriage license. So they'll get together at something like a courthouse, and they'll get together for the ceremony, and they'll get together and sign the actual license so that they're married. And then afterwards, there's another party where they'll dress up and have a whole bunch of people get together. And with the dressing up, they'll also wear something different.
Oh yeah, each time the dowry, there's special clothes for dowry, there's special clothes for signing of the marriage license.
And at the reception, there's even something different too of those. And then the third one, they'll call the Western wedding. And so it's basically, it's similar to what we would think of for an American wedding. And where they'll wear a white dress this time instead of just an African outfit. They'll wear a white dress and they'll have a ceremony. Now, one thing that surprised me that I did not see coming was how in the on her guest list, most of them did not show up to the ceremony.
The wedding ceremony.
To the wedding ceremony, while for my guest list, most of them were there. Which, this brings in an important concept with merging cultures, where for my culture, it's really rude to skip the wedding ceremony and just go to the wedding reception. But in her culture, apparently it's just normal to skip the wedding ceremony and go to the wedding reception. And so the thing is to know that you are going to be offended at some point by the other culture, and the other culture at some point is going to be offended by you. So Judith explained what was normal, and I was like, oh, okay. So just makes it easier for guest management and stuff. So yes, and then at the wedding reception was the whole everyone dancing and music, and I kept getting people coming up to me and telling me, welcome to the family. And so after the 10th person told me welcome to the family, I came over to Judy and said, Judy, it sounds like I just married all of Africa. Which apparently, that was another culture thing I was getting used to. I hope that gives you a little more insight in what it's like to merge 2 different cultures, and thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.